Okay, let's start with a quick thought experiment. What was the last thing you ate or drank? Chances are, sugar was in there somewhere. It's the ingredient that gives us that little moment of pleasure, that quick energy boost, but it's also smack dab in the middle of a massive health debate.
And that brings us to the big question, right? Is sugar a friend, an essential fuel for our bodies? Or is it more of a hidden enemy, quietly causing problems over the long run? Well, spoiler alert, the answer isn't a simple good or bad, and the real story might just surprise you.
You know, it often starts small, right in our morning routine. Maybe a spoonful in your tea or a sprinkle on your cereal. It seems so innocent, doesn't it? And then fast forward to lunch, maybe you grab a soda or a packaged juice, and suddenly, without even thinking about it, that sugar count for the day starts to creep up.
But here's where it gets really sneaky. It's hiding in plain sight, in pasta sauces, in bread, in salad dressings, in countless things you wouldn't even think of as sweet. It is literally everywhere, and that's exactly why we've got to get a handle on what it's actually doing to us.
All right, so first, let's play devil's advocate. Let's look at the case for sugar, because believe it or not, our bodies are actually built to run on this stuff.
See, when we break it all down, sugar becomes glucose, and glucose is the #1 fuel that powers pretty much everything we do. Your brain, your muscles, they absolutely need it to work correctly. It's like the gasoline for your car. Without it, we just stop.
So when you use it the right way, in moderation, the upsides are pretty clear. It gives you that quick jolt of energy when you need it, it helps keep your brain firing on all cylinders, and come on, let's be real, it makes food taste delicious. So from this angle, it's not quite the monster it's made out to be.
But, and this is a big but, that's only one side of the coin. Now, let's flip it over and look at the case against sugar, because this is where things get serious. This is all about the dangers of too much of a good thing.
Okay, so here's the absolute key takeaway. The real enemy isn't sugar as a whole. The problem explodes when we start talking about excessive amounts of refined sugar. We're talking about the white sugar, the high fructose corn syrup that gets pumped into everything and has been stripped of any and all nutritional value.
And when we overload our systems with it, whoa, the fallout is no joke. We're not just talking about gaining a little weight here. This is linked to a whole laundry list of chronic problems: obesity, diabetes, heart disease. It can even mess with your immune system, your hormones, and your mood. It's a pretty sobering list.
You know that feeling? You have a sweet snack, feel great for a bit, and then an hour later you just crash? Well, this is why. You get that massive spike in blood sugar, that quick rush of energy, but then your body overcorrects and your blood sugar plummets. That's the crash. And what do you crave when you crash? Yep, more sugar. It's this crazy roller coaster, and it's a cycle that's really hard to break.
And we absolutely have to talk about kids. Their bodies are still developing, which makes them extra vulnerable. Too much sugar can impact everything from their ability to focus at school to their long-term health, and can set them on a path toward major health problems down the road.
All right, we've heard the case for sugar, and we've heard the case against it. So it's time for the verdict. Let's unmask the real villain in this story.
And here it is. This is the whole ball game, right here. It's all about natural versus refined. On one side, you've got natural sugars, the kind you find in an apple or a glass of milk. They come with fiber and vitamins, so your body absorbs them slowly. But on the other side, you have refined sugars. They are pure, empty calories that just slam into your system. That is the bad guy we've been looking for.
Okay, so now that we know who the real enemy is, what do we actually do about it? Let's talk solutions. This isn't about some extreme sugar-free life. It's all about finding that sweet spot, pun intended, where you can enjoy things in a healthy, balanced way.
Look, the goal here is not to make you feel guilty or tell you to never eat a piece of cake again. That's just not realistic for most of us. The real power is in awareness. It's about knowing what you're putting in your body and making smarter choices. It's about balance, not banning everything you love.
So how do we do that? Here are 4 super simple steps you can start with today. First, just try to limit sugary drinks. That's a huge one. Second, get into the habit of flipping over the package and reading the label. You'll be shocked where you find hidden sugar. Third, when you get that craving for something sweet, try reaching for a piece of fruit first. And finally, just be mindful of your habits. What makes you reach for that cookie? There's a quote from Dr. Liaquat Jadoon that just hits the nail on the head. Good health is not about avoiding everything sweet, but about choosing wisely. That's really what it all boils down to, knowing the difference between good fuel and empty filler. and making the choice that's right for you.
So, as we finish up here, I want to leave you with a little challenge. Just one thing. What's one little sweet swap you can try this week? Maybe it's trading that afternoon soda for sparkling water, or having berries instead of ice cream. It doesn't have to be huge, because that journey to better health, it always starts with just one small, wise choice.